Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar today, AI-driven accounting marketing done right. My name is Matt Wilkinson. I am the founder of Bizink. We'll get started in just a minute, just a little bit of housekeeping first. Love to know where you're dialing in from. I'm in Wanaka, which is in the South Island of New Zealand. We're in our kind of funny season here where it can be pretty warm, but also get frosts overnight. But I'd love to know where you're dialing in from. You can use the chat with that. So good way to test out the chat. Anthea is with me. She's over in Brisbane. I was going to say sunny Brisbane. I know it was yesterday. So probably a lot sunnier than where I am. So if you've got any problems, use the chat. It's probably the best way to do it. There's also the Q&A panel. Like, feel free to ask questions all the way through. I want this to be a really interactive webinar. It's really about giving you some AI campaigns that you can use straight away. The session is being recorded, so we will send that out, and I'm going to send you a whole playbook of what we're doing. It's cool. We've got some people from all over the world. Hey, Nick in Carson City in Nevada, chilly, wet spring. Hope that warms up for you. Hey, David in Victoria, Shona in Melbourne. John's in sunny Brisbane, so yeah, it was sunny. I was right. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, keep letting me know. And let's get into the session today because I've got quite a lot to cover, and want to get through it. Hey, David in Manila. That's cool. We don't often get people in the Philippines. That's awesome. Cool. Okay, let's get into the session today. So, quick agenda. Can have a quick look at the good and the bad of AI marketing. We're going to have a look at we've got these 5 AI-driven marketing campaigns, and that's what I really want to show you. That's the whole session today. I'm going to quickly show you Bizink's AI marketing service. We're going to launch that next week. I'm really excited about that, so I'd just like to show you that quickly, and then I'll stick around for questions. But like I said, feel free to fire the questions in as we go. Happy to answer those as we go along. All right, so good and bad of AI marketing. Now, it's kind of gone nuts with ChatGPT since the start of the year, right? We hear about AI for like a decade. You go to the accounting conferences, and everyone's talking about it, but it's like, where is it? And then all of a sudden, it's here. I think it's an incredible thing. AI is incredibly powerful, yet I've seen quite a lot of stuff like this poem on the screen, kind of gimmicky stuff, right? And to me, that's like a really poor use of AI. Sure, it's a bit of fun, I'm not trying to be too harsh on that stuff, but in terms of like the power of AI, so what? The world didn't need this kind of stuff. And likewise, using AI with the idea that you can put nothing in, nothing's going to come out. It's like the old computing phrase, garbage in, garbage out. And I've seen quite a lot on social media as well. I don't think you can write a book using AI or even a business plan unless you've got a lot of prior knowledge. But, you go on LinkedIn and you'll see, any number of posts of people saying all this, like, oh, you can write a book in 3 seconds or whatever. Well, in my opinion, you can't. And I'd like to be proven wrong on that. So I think the big difference is if you are an expert or you have that knowledge and then you have AI, so how to put something good into AI, and then what you can also evaluate what comes out, and that is massively powerful. Then AI can make you faster and it's cheaper. So the phrase we've been using here at Bizink is like expert plus AI. And just like AI isn't going to make me an accountant, it's not going to make you into a marketer either. So I think our jobs are safe for now, right? Like no matter what people are saying in the media. So what my goal is today is to show you how a marketing expert, I'm not, I don't like talking myself up as an expert, but I've been doing this for a long time. And I want to show you how I would use AI to market an accounting or a bookkeeping firm. And I want you to be able to copy this stuff and use it in your firm. So a little bit about me. I've been doing marketing websites with accountants and bookkeepers for 13 years now. I founded Bizink in 2012. We've worked with thousands of firms over the last decade. So we know a little bit about what it takes to market an accounting firm. And that's what I'll be kind of leaning on in this session today. Little picture of me climbing some mountains, which is something I used to do before I had kids. That's got paid to that pretty quick. Okay, quick poll before we get into the AI campaigns. Interested to know, have you already used ChatGPT or AI to market your firm? Really interested to know that. And just as we're doing that poll, just going to show you this leads to loyalty framework, which is what we've built after working with thousands of firms over the last decade. And there are 5 stages to this: plan, attract, engage, convert, and retain. And no one is doing all of these things. No one's getting all these things right. Even us as a marketing company, there's definitely areas where we could improve in this kind of business to business marketing life cycle. Now, why I'm showing you this is that when I do these webinars, I normally focus on a couple of stages in here. We might talk about one part of that journey. The thing with AI is that it can help you across all of the stages of leads to loyalty. How does it do that? Well, it can make your marketing faster. It can make your marketing cheaper. It's not necessarily going to make it better than a professional marketer, but in my experience, one of the biggest problems with accountants and bookkeepers is they just don't do enough marketing or do none. Like, that is not atypical to hear that. So if you can use AI to do something, then that's probably going to be a lot better than nothing, right? So in my opinion, AI it really is a game changer. It's a cliche phrase that everyone's using, but I do think it's a game changer in terms of marketing, because the big pain points that we always come up against with accountants and bookkeepers when it comes to marketing, and I'm sure you experience these, is not having the time to do marketing, and not necessarily knowing when to start or what to do. And I think that time is the biggest thing that AIs can help you with. Not knowing where to start, I think you still, that's where people like me and Bizink can come in. And that's what I want to show you in this webinar, is to go, here's where to start, and here's how to use AI to get there really quickly. Now, if you're interested in this framework that we've created, we've got a marketing scorecard where you can quickly go through. It takes like, I don't know, under 2 minutes, and get your own scorecard with suggestions on what to do. Been really popular tool that we've created. And this is going to drop the link in the chat there, and we'll send that to you afterwards. But let's get into the session today. So we'll end that poll and share it. So I can see that 43% of you have already used ChatGPT and AI in your marketing, which I actually think that's quite an amazing stat, because my experience, normally when I'm talking about these things, most of the time firms aren't doing a lot of marketing. So I think the fact that people are using it already shows what a game-changing tool this is in terms of marketing your firm. All right, so we'll close that poll down and move on to the campaigns. So I want to give you 5 campaigns that you could do this week. I don't want these to be big, complicated things. So I set some rules for myself. The first one is that they're easy. So you don't need marketing skills to do this. Anything where you kind of maybe do need that, I'm going to give it to you anyway. They're all going to take less than half a day. And in fact, a few of them actually take a couple of minutes. So they're really straightforward. They're really short. And also they're really cheap. So they're either free, like you could use the free ChatGPT, or they're really low cost with tools that you probably already pay for. So the final one I'm going to show you uses Zoom, but I imagine a lot of you already paying for a Zoom subscription. If not, it's, I don't know, like $15 US a month or something like that. Or email marketing software, which again, I think most of you would have that. If not, we're talking like a small subscription every month. And the final rule I set was that they work. And I know that sounds daft, but there's so much social media hype around marketing in general, but particularly around AI-based marketing. And it makes everything seem, super simple, like, just follow these few prompts and you're going to be really rich. everything is still hard work, right? Like AI can make stuff quicker for us, but you know, it's always harder than you think. So these are like proper campaigns that I know will work. They're not necessarily promising the earth or a silver bullet, but I think they're really solid campaigns. And I think you'll see that when I run through them. And I really want your feedback as we run through. So I'll be asking you that, you know, whether you would use them as we go through, and we can tweak as we go. So the campaigns I'm going to run are putting your client comms into cheat mode. That's a really easy one we're going to start with. The 10x blog strategy. Now, you know, 10x is a bit of a cliche, but you'll see what I mean when we get there. How to promote anything in seconds. That's a really cool one. I think that's one that you could maybe use straight after this session. Spreadsheet marketing. Who doesn't love a spreadsheet, right? And then the last one, lazy lead generation. I'm going to show you how to create a course in a couple of hours. So some really good campaigns there. Let's get into them and start showing you how they work. Okay, so got another quick poll for you. I often ask this question, and I think it's a really important one in terms of marketing your firm. Do your clients, I should say your clients, do your clients know about all the ways that you can help them? Interesting to see how this one plays out. In my experience, the answer's mostly no or not sure, which it's playing out like that. Now I'll give you a few more seconds to answer this one. All right, we'll go for a little bit more, because, you know, why is that important, right? Well, it's marketing 101 that the easiest people to sell to are existing clients. You know, they're cheaper to sell to as well, and it's going to be more profitable because you don't need to onboard them. So it makes sense to sell more to them. Yet, if we share those results, please, Anthea, you know, and it almost always comes out like this: 60%. You know that all your clients don't know all the ways you can help them. 34% aren't sure. I think that's kind of a no anyway. and only, you know, 6% are saying that they do. So in terms of the first marketing priority for most firms, for most of you listening today, I would say it's marketing to your existing clients, because you know, you're leaving money on the table there. And the second thing is like asking for referrals as well. About 85% of firms' leads come from referrals based on our research, yet only 20% of firms actually do anything to ask for referrals. So what we're going to have a look at here is how to easily message your clients, whether that's like upselling, cross-selling, asking for referrals. We're going to use AI to do that. And we're going to create some emails, because email, you know, first of all of your clients have got an email address, right? I would hope. And that, you know, most business owners are checking their email several times a day, and they open emails from accountants and bookkeepers. We know that because we send millions of emails every year, and the open rates are really, really high. Now, that's not to say anything about what we do. That's just to say that people open emails from their accountant. So I'm going to close that poll down, and I'm going to jump in ChatGPT, and I'm going to put a prompt in, which is going to start a campaign off for us. So go in ChatGPT, now paste this in. Pretend you're an accountant writing to a small business owner client. Write a short email template asking them if they would refer similar businesses to you. So off we go. We get a subject line. Let's see what comes out here. So I'm doing all of this live. Good chance it could go wrong, but I think it's cool to see it live. So let's see how we go. So yeah, it's still going. It's a bit long. Okay. Oh, it's really going. Okay. So what's interesting, I've tried these before, and you get different answers each time, obviously. Now, that's way too long in my opinion. So I'm going to ask it to write a more concise version. And yeah, firstly, because short emails are better in my opinion. And yeah, but they just are. And I want to show you that don't always take the first thing that comes out, right? Like the great thing about ChatGPT is that chat aspect. And I think that's been huge in its success. You know, we can kind of have that conversation to refine this. So that's okay, right? Like that's not too bad. I mean, I wouldn't put personally wouldn't be doing the discount piece, but you know, you can just remove that easily, or you can ask ChatGPT to do that. So super easy email to get going. And you know, this is just something I think you could send once a quarter. We create this stuff for clients, Bizink, but you know, you could take a template like we've got and refine it, or just create your own one like this. So that's the first one that I wanted to show. Yeah, I would add my personal tweaks to that, which we could keep doing in here, or just, you know, get it out and save that as a template. Now, let's ask another question. So I'm going to put this one in here. So pretend you're an accountant writing to a small business owner client. Tell them about a new payroll service you have with a call to action of a 15-minute chat to explain the benefits. So let's see what comes out here. And it's pretty good, right? So come up with some good benefits there. It's got a call to action coming up. And obviously, you know, you might not do payroll. The idea here is I'm giving you like a format that you could use for other services. Could be a cash flow planning service, could be, you know, audit insurance, whatever. Now, the last time I did that, it wrote it very much from a US perspective. So, you know, this is one thing you can do. I'll just quickly try this. Depending on what country you're in, you might want to, you know, because we're talking about different legislations and things like that, rewrite for an Australian audience. So let's see what comes out here. Good day. That's not so good, is it? But but you see now it mentions ATO requirements. The last one I did was PAYG, pay as you go. We call it PAYE in New Zealand, as they do in the UK, different in different countries. So again, it's about refining what you get out. You know, same with that one. I would do like I did up here, write a more concise version. So, you know, this is what's great about this. And you see how quickly we can just get this happening. Let's get a nice short one. So off it goes. So we've got a question here, which is how do you export these texts from ChatGPT? They've got a little paste icon there. I think that's new actually, but they've got a little paste icon there. You used to have to kind of copy it. So it's, you know, you get that and then you paste that into your email software. You paste that into like an Outlook or a Google template, or, you know, maybe your CRM or something like that. So that's, you know, that's how to quickly get that campaign out there. Does anyone think they could start using something like that pretty quickly to get templates, emails out to clients and ask for referrals to promote things? I just think that's a really good one, because if we go back to those stats, the majority of your clients don't know about all the things that you can help them with. You could do that, you know, say you did payroll and you had 6 other services, you could get that done really quickly. So I think that's like an awesome use of it to kick things off, and probably the campaign that I would start with if I were if I had a firm. Okay, so next one we're going to have a look at is 10x blog strategy. So interested to know on this one before we get into it. So you can fire these into the chat. If you can briefly let me know, what are some of the questions or queries that clients ask you all the time? Like, what's the stuff that people always ask you? Can I claim that? Is going to be one of the big ones. I know that, right? But I'd be interested to know some of those questions, and maybe we can use them to do this one. Now, the strategy that I'm going to talk about here is how we can get 10 blogs. We're going to get 10 blogs about those kind of questions that that people always ask. Like David said, where's all my money gone? No, yeah, buying versus leasing motor vehicles, that kind of stuff, right? Like that, you get asked that stuff all the time. Now, you probably get sick of maybe responding to that. One of Bizink's earliest clients told me, found out about blogging, and we were going back years here, and he didn't know what to write about. So he came up with this thing, which is, I think it's now a book, They Ask, You Answer. And you know, it's quite a big popular thing, is to go, he took those questions and just wrote blogs about them. So we've got some cool ones coming in here. You know, how do I get money at my company to use personally? What can I claim for? So these like these evergreen questions that you get asked, and are probably quite similar across the world. So yeah, my client, he created 10 blogs about these topics. So basically like Q&A style blogs. And why is that good? Well, first of all, it saves time, right? Because then every time you get asked that question, you can just send the person the link. You don't have to write it or talk to them every time. It looks slick because you've already thought about it. The other thing is that if clients are asking about it, you know that other people are as well. Prospects are going to be thinking about that. So they might find you through search engines. This client wrote a blog about GST, which is the sales tax in New Zealand, GST on secondhand goods. And that post was outranking the IRD, the government's post on the same topic. So you can get some SEO benefit. I mean, you could repost them on social. So it's just a really good strategy to have these kind of 10, it doesn't have to be 10, but I'm just going to use 10 for now. I just think it's one of the best content strategies that any firm can use. So it's pretty straightforward, right? Like you could probably think of the Q&As pretty quickly, but it takes time. You know, I would think maybe a week to write all of that content. And that week's not going to obviously be a solid week, so it could end up taking months. But with AI, I think you can do this in, you know, maybe a couple of hours. So let me show a couple of ways we could do this. So the first one, right, this isn't the way I would probably do it, but you could, would be, let's start a new chat. We'll use GPT-4. You know, what are some questions that NZ business owners commonly ask their accountant? Obviously, you can change that out for any country. And there are probably similar questions everywhere. Now, you know, in my opinion, you probably know these things better than ChatGPT, but there'll be kind of versions of all of this stuff probably. But I think it's better if you use them in real language. So I'm going to take this one from Yassi here, which, so I'm going to stop that one, you know, so you can see that's giving you some ideas there, and you could, they're a bit kind of dry. I think it's better in like real language. So what's one that we just got? That we got here. So I could have probably put more to that prompt, but it's pretty decent what it's saying so far. So we can take this one. So this is writing our blog for us, right? Now we could have written that a bit more like, give me a blog of 500 words about how to get money out of my company personally. Pretend you're an accountant. The audience is a small business owner. But this isn't bad, which is coming out, right? So the idea here is that you know, let's say we do the 10 questions and answers, put your 10 questions in here, get it to write the blogs and add them to your website, right? Or maybe it's a knowledge base, just unbelievably quick way to get some really, really valuable content that's valuable to clients, and it's valuable in terms of marketing as well. So interested to know, would other people use that campaign? Could you see yourself using that to get these blogs created? So what we're going to do now is look at, let's take, we're going to take that blog and we're going to use it to, we're going to amplify it a bit, because in my experience, it's very easy to get kind of bogged down in the content creation piece. So, I mean, as anyone listening, I created an awesome piece of content. You put it out there and nobody reads it, or not nobody, but very few people, because I know I've done that. And I think it's where most content fails. Most of the time, people spend 80% of the time or 95% of the time on the content, and then hardly any time promoting it. You know, I was talking to someone who's kind of like a veteran of the accounting industry a couple of days ago, and she was saying to me, you know, like, when you think you've kind of over promoted a piece of content, you know, you've probably not quite done enough. And it's true, right? Like, you know, the best marketers are just out there all the time. So what AI does, it makes it easy to amplify content that you've created. So what I want to do is take the blog that we just created and then show you how you can amplify that and get it out to a really wide audience. Because I can see John and Laurie saying this, done the same thing. You know, you create this awesome content and it's just kind of, you know, hidden away. We've got to get out there and promote it. So actually what I'm going to do is do this. I'm going to write another post here, actually, just very quickly. So I'll start a new chat for GPT-4. So pretend you're an accountant. Oh, let's correct that little typo there. You're an accountant. Write a 500-word blog post about common bookkeeping mistakes. So while it's doing that, one of the questions about how can we put our personality into the AI, and that's a really great question. And my view with it is, you know, you kind of can't, right? Like, I mean, the AI is the AI, and it's basing it off all this data. The idea there will be, I think it's to make it individual to you. I mean, a very good copywriting friend of mine said, you know, often gets asked to write in these like tone of voice documents, and you write to these big corporates and they have these tone of voice documents, and the tone of voice is nearly always the same: informal, friendly, you know, all of these things. So I think in terms of tone, you know, you can change the tone in, you know, so I could ask it to rewrite this in more informal tone, add humor or whatever. But ultimately, you know, the only way to add personality to it is for you to add in some of that yourself. But I think that can be that like small percentage at the end. This is doing a lot of the grunt work for you. So that's where I see the big advantage of AI. It's doing that grunt work for you. The personality bit, you know, I think by definition, and I hope this never changes, I hope that has to be humans that always do that. So this has written a blog post here. So yeah, I'm okay with that as something to get to use for this. Now, what we might want to do with this, if we're talking about promoting this blog post, is let's stick it in, add a call to action at the end. CTA is my jargon for, well, it's just the jargon for call to action. Our firm name is Senior Junior. That's the firm we use for our demo website. So here it goes, rewriting it with a call to action. So that's easy enough. And then what I might also want to do is add we want to get search engines to pick up on this, right? Like, so that's a great way to promote it, is to get found in search engines. So what I'm going to do is add the SEO keyword accountant Wanaka. So Wanaka is the little town I'm based in New Zealand. Add the SEO keyword accountant Wanaka to the call to action. Off it goes. So I'm not going to pretend this is like, you know, full search engine optimization, but certainly having that keyword in there is going to help. So there we go. We've added a call to action, and we've got a we've done a bit of SEO optimization. Now you can go back and write keywords throughout the whole thing. That's something that we've built into our blog writer in Bizink, and you can definitely do that with ChatGPT. We won't go through all of that now. Now, what else do we want to do? I think it'd be great to promote this on LinkedIn. We've got this on our blog. Let's get it on LinkedIn. So let's ask it to write some LinkedIn posts. There we go. And it's even doing the little emoticons. How good is that, right? So we're getting these posts out there to put on LinkedIn. Now, going back to that thing of like the tone, the personality, I think the longer the content you write, the more that matters. And the converse of that obviously is like the shorter, the less room there is for personality, the less it matters. So I think that's pretty cool. You know, that they're fine. You know, like I would get those out there. Let's say we want to get it on Twitter as well. I mean, it could be Facebook, could be whatever. We can do that. So just write some nice short posts. Now, one of the questions is, can we set the tone? You know, you can ask it to rewrite that. So like, look, I'll put rewrite the, this is why I'm copying and pasting, because I'm terrible at typing. Rewrite the Twitter posts with some humor. Now, this is probably not going to be that funny, but we'll see. But I'm just showing you how you can change the tone, and you can ask it to be more formal, less formal. You can do whatever you want. So that the whole idea here is, it's like refining, making it suit what you want. But I think, you know, in my opinion and how I use it is, I might use it to create the outline, but I'm still going to add my little bit at the end of that. And then, so what we've done, we've got the blog, we've put a call to action, we've search engine optimized it, we've got some social posts, which we're now going to add in those places. And let's see what we get here. I want to send an email out as well. And we want to send that to clients. So let's write a blog, an email about that. Now, this has taken us what, like a few minutes to do this, you know, and I'm just showing like a few platforms, a few channels, how we could push this out. But yeah, I think it shows how we can just get those 10 blogs put together and create this amplification plan that that really pushes them out. You know, again, I'd be asking really make that shorter or whatever, but super powerful. So does anyone feel that they would be able to start promoting their content a lot harder if they started using things like this? So taking the content and asking ChatGPT to come up with social posts, email templates, and all those other amplification pieces of content to get it out there. That's cool. I can see that is super useful. So let's move on to the next one. Spreadsheet marketing. Who loves spreadsheets? I love spreadsheets. I thought it'd be cool in an accounting webinar to do some spreadsheet marketing. And it's funny because I've had several firms over the years send their marketing plan to me in Excel or Sheets, and even one, I think two actually, send me like a website mock-up in Excel, which is quite amusing. But let's use it to do some marketing. So not sure if you know that you can plug ChatGPT into spreadsheets. I use Google Sheets. That's what we're going to do. You can definitely do this with Excel as well, if you're a Microsoft person. But I'm going to show you how to use it to always have fresh newsletter content. So let's jump into my Google Sheet here, and let me show you what I've been up to. So just a normal Google Sheet. And the first thing that you want to use is the import feed function. So that's just built into Sheets. I'm pretty sure it's in Excel as well. And you can see it up here, right? So just go into a cell equals import feed. And then I've got this website link, which is a feed link, an RSS feed, and some little parameters with that as well. So what that's actually saying is go to the RNZ's Radio New Zealand website, go on their business page and get the feed. So you can see they have this business RSS, and you'll find that on a lot of websites, particularly blogs, they have an RSS feed, sometimes called an atom feed. And if I click on that, you'll see it's this like XML kind of document, and it updates automatically. And what that does is pulls in the content into different places. So like you might use, like they call it feed reader, if you want to read like a load of blogs in one place. And so it's just a different way to pull in content. So you can set this up, and I'm going to share this spreadsheet with you so you can copy it and do it yourself. And you put your link in. I've set it to pull in 3 stories, right? So there's and so that will pull those 3 stories in. So you can see I've got one here from business.gov.nz and one from RNZ. So I've got 2 different websites pulling in 3 stories from each. These are New Zealand websites, obviously. It brings in the title, it brings in the link, and the date it's created. So you can fiddle around with that with the parameters, but basically you're getting the latest stories from that site into here. Now, what I've then done is I've got ChatGPT in Google Sheets is a Chrome add-on. So you add this into Chrome and it's free. And what that does, you can kind of see it here, it gives you GPT functions within the spreadsheet. So you need to get an API key to do that, which is free to start off with. And then after that, you can pay for usage, but you get quite a few free credits at the start anyway. But you add that, it's completely free. And then you've got ChatGPT functions within your spreadsheet. So this is one of them there, equals GPT summarize. And what I'm asking it to do is look at that website, look at that article and summarize it into 30 words. So you can see I've gone, summarize that cell, 30 words, and I get my little summary there. So pretty cool. Because why that's cool is that you may not know, OpenAI, which powers ChatGPT, only goes back to 2021 in terms of the data it knows about. But you can make it look at something that's, from recent stuff, as you can see here, and summarize that. So that's a way to use it to get over that problem of stuff being in the past. You can get fresh content pulled in and summarized. Now you can do other things to that data as well with that GPT function. But what I would use this for is if you want to have fresh newsletter content, you could get this, go and look at your spreadsheet. It will automatically update itself when there's new content, and you can paste that straight into your newsletter. You've got the link if you want to link off to it, or you could rewrite this and give it your own spin. So if you just wanted to use it almost for like idea generation, you could, you give it your own spin and do that. And you could use AI to do that. So that's just one use case for it. You could pull any website in with an RSS feed. It might seem a little bit tacky, but honestly, all you have to do is get that feed. And that could be from Australia, US, UK, wherever, you find the websites you want. If they've got a feed, you'll be able to pull it in and then use the GPT summarize function to create what I think is great newsletter content. So I'll share that spreadsheet with you, and interested to know if you would find that one useful as well. Okay, so final one I want to have a look at is what I'm calling lazy lead generation, right? And what this is going to do is create a lead magnet for you. So if you don't know what a lead magnet is, it's basically like a high value piece of content that you put on a website that turns visitors into leads. So, you'll all have you've been on the other end of one, whether that's an ebook or something. And I think they're really valuable and often missing on accountants and bookkeepers' websites. And why I think they're so important is that if you think about the people hitting your website, there's probably only a very small percentage of those who are like ready to buy off you right now. But there's probably a lot bigger percentage who are kind of interested, but not ready now. So getting there, grabbing their details and then being able to keep talking to them, super important. And, you know, lead magnets, really valuable, yet a lot of effort to create. And so what I want to show you is this course that I've got on the right here, Free Marketing Playbook, with a payroll firm who's one of our clients. We created a course based on that, and it took maybe, you know, an hour, maybe 2 hours to create the whole thing. So I'm going to show you how to do this. It is quite, it's quite complicated in one way, but no, it's not complicated. It's got more steps than the other ones, right? But I think this is just an amazing use of AI in terms of it's doing something that would have taken like hours and hours to do in the past. So let me show you how it worked. The first thing that you need to have a think about is you need to do an interview with somebody. So what I did was talk to Tyler for, I think it was about 25 minutes. And he shared with me these 9 marketing tactics he used to grow his firm. He genuinely won 251 new clients in 2021. And so we kind of exchanged a few emails and I was like, okay, what did you do? He gave me a list of things and they became my questions. So how would I think you would use that? Who's a client you've really helped and what did you do for them? That could be really interesting content to share with other people. Maybe you've got a client in a certain niche and they've done something that other people would love to hear. You know, you could record that and it could become super interesting content. So what I did was, I got him on Zoom. I made sure that the cloud recording was on and the transcription was turned on. That's the most important part of it. And we just talked, right? Like, I mean, mostly he talked. I asked him the questions and we went through it. So it really helped that we kept it quite structured in a Q&A style. So you'll see why, because we're going to break it up in a second. And so, I asked them these questions, finished the call, took about 25 minutes, and Zoom uses its AI to take what we said and writes it up into a transcript, right? So we've got the recording, but we've also got text as well. And so I put that into a Google Doc so you can see what came out. Like, we didn't type any of this out, right? That's AI that's done that. That's got that out of Zoom. And I took this, and this was the first question I asked, and we talked about it. So I'm just going to scroll down and grab this text. Okay, I've kind of formatted this a little bit, but grab what I had. So that was the transcript. And then I went into ChatGPT. I'll start a new chat. And paste that in. And then the prompt I used was as simple as this. The prompt I used was, give me action points from the text below. That's it. Off we go. So that's taken that whole load of text that was written for us by Zoom. And instead of having to read through all of that, which was pages in Google Docs, it pulled out the action points, which I think is amazing, right? And that to me is almost like one of the best uses I've seen of AI, which is to go, you got this whole mass of text and we want to just condense that instead of spending hours, like, you know, someone transcribing that, you used to have to pay for that stuff, right? I've got that automatically, and then I can just throw it in ChatGPT and it gives me those action points. So I don't need to kind of scan through here, write it up. So that to me is just like a super powerful way to do it. And I'm using it to create a course, but, you know, I think there's lots of other use cases with that. I've taken a video transcript and turned it into something else. So when I did that, I repeated that for all of the 9 questions as in that Q&A style. So had the action points for each thing that he talked about. And there we go. I've got a course, right? I've got a 9-part course with action points. And then what I did with that was put them into an email sequence. So we've got the email here. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's basically a 9-step course. Could be whatever you wanted. I decided that we would add the video in too. So if I click into this, you can see the email. I'll just bring it up here. So you can see the email. We put the email, put the video on YouTube and link back to it. And then there's those action points that ChatGPT spat out. So honestly, like that enables us to create that online course in maybe a couple of hours. And it's just a really, really powerful thing. You could do more with it. Obviously, you could put those into blogs, then use the other campaign that I showed to promote those blogs. So you should really kind of builds quickly from there. It shows us, and could it miss an action point? Like it definitely could, right? But like so could a human being as well. So like, I mean, you can definitely check the transcript. You're all accountants and bookkeepers. You're probably better than me at scanning through data and checking for things like that. But I think a lot of this stuff is like, is it good enough? I think those action points I came up with, they're pretty good, right? And just getting something done is so powerful, rather than kind of getting stuck and procrastinating and all of that. Sarah's just asking, how did we embed that video? You can put video in email. I don't trust that, by the way. So we just put an image and then it links off to the video. So I think that's a safe way to do it for deliverability. John's asking about the timestamps in the video. Can't remember. We do have the captions because someone told me this. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but it probably is from my own experience, that videos on social media are viewed, like 90% of the time they're viewed with the sound off. So having captions on the video, like you can see here, I think that's super important. You probably all experience that, like looking at something on your phone when you're like a doctor's waiting room or something like that. That's really good. But yeah, I think having timestamps on the video where you could be like, this is where we're talking about this part is really good. I don't know if we did that or not. Honestly, I didn't actually do the YouTube part of this. But yeah, that would be really valuable as well. So, and then we can take that and use that campaign 3 where we want to amplify it. So, we don't want to do that kind of 80-20 thing of spending all the time on creating this course and then not actually promoting the thing. So let's go in ChatGPT, write 3 social posts to promote this landing page. So this is the landing page that we've got the course on. And there we go. So it's doing that as well, and then we could get it to, so let's finish that. We could do, ask it to write an email template as well. So it's kind of like the same playbook we're using again, is like we're taking something that we've got that's already good and then using AI to kind of amplify it, to summarize it, to change it, really doing that grunt work, which, is often where we get stuck with marketing, like that kind of Q&A 10x blog thing that I'm talking about. I'm sure you've all had ideas like that before, but that idea of executing it just takes time, and it can fall to the wayside. So this can just get it done really quickly. And I think that something that's done and out there, you can always refine it rather than, it just sitting there. So that's my final campaign. I hope they were all useful. That one's a bit more involved, but can anyone see themselves using that one, or maybe a version of it? It could be, you could use it as like a training thing, like record a training session and get it to summarize things. I just think that idea of using the Zoom transcript, which comes from AI, and then using AI to kind of chop that up, it's just a super powerful one. So interesting to know if people would use that. So there's 5 campaigns, right? I'm going to share all of this with you in a bit of a playbook afterwards. So I will give you, I'll give you all of that stuff. I'll give you some prompts. I will give you, I'll give you kind of, everything I've been showing you today. Maybe some of them seem a little bit complex, but I think that there's definitely, probably if you just got into it, then you could definitely do a lot of these things. We're about to launch some AI features in Bizink, and the difference, I think, what we've tried to do is that ChatGPT is awesome, but someone asked the question earlier, how do you get that into your blog? You've got to copy it, you've got to paste it, which doesn't seem a lot, but it's kind of annoying as well. So we've built GPT functionality actually into the back end of our sites. And that allows you to do things like create unique content, but also rewrite our library of expert content. So instead of having to kind of come up with the ideas yourself, you can actually rewrite it. I can quickly show you that in a second. You don't have to pay for those GPT credits. We've also got things like built-in email marketing and social media integration, so that some of those templates we're talking about, you'd be right there in one platform. And I'm just going to show you how that works really quickly. So there's different ways it can work. So this is like a library of blog posts that we give to all of our clients. Now, one of the objections we sometimes get is that, well, what if other firms post this content? And, I actually don't think that's much of a problem. But if it does concern you, then what we can do now is take the post and ask the AI to come up with new titles. So we can go, actually, let's change it to that. So instantly you've got, a unique title for the content. Then you can click into it and you can rewrite the content. So you can take what we've got. You don't have to come up with ideas. And we've been doing small business content for years. You can do that and you can rewrite it. So just let me load it up. And so let's just say we want to rewrite that first paragraph or something. Go into the AI, click rewrite, off it goes, and it does it for you. And we handle all of that integration with I shouldn't have done it I've done it in like the header font, but you can see it just rewrote that. And we handle all that integration with OpenAI. You need to have to pay for extra credits. That's all covered in what we do. You can create unique content in there as well. So, if you want to create a post, you can go in here and start to create unique content. So, let's just take one that we were doing before, make it a bit quicker. So let's take that post here. Oh, let's try and copy that. Okay, so let's throw that into here. So you can generate a new post. You can set some SEO keywords. So, we could add in like accountant Wanaka, like where I live. And off it goes and does that. So, it's using the same technology, the same AI as OpenAI rather. So there's like an express mode for doing that. There's a custom mode if you want to get more granular. And there's speech to post as well, which is really cool. You can actually just talk into it. So we could have talked that in and got it to create the content. So if you're interested in that, we'll throw up a little poll and you can just let us know. Or put a link to book a time to chat about that. If you just want a short 15-minute demo, we can take you through it. We won't even take 15 minutes of how it all works and some of the other things that we can do in the back end of our websites and client hubs. And happy to offer anyone who came to the webinar this new feature for free. It will actually be like an add-on to all our other websites, but if you sign up in May, we'll give you that AI functionality for free for the first year. Just close that poll off. It's just talking to the AI. Sometimes it takes a few minutes to actually create the post. but then it's there ready to kind of just add on to the website. So happy to stick around. We've got like 5 more minutes till the hour. Has anyone got any questions for me about what I talked about, or anything to do with AI marketing? If you're already using Bizink, David, we'll let you know about that. We'll be sending an email about that tomorrow, so we'll let you know. In terms of scheduling the post, someone's asking, yeah, you can schedule the posts as well. So you save them as a draft, then you can schedule it from there. That's a great way to do it. You know, go in and create a load of posts, and then do it like that. Year 2 costs is $500. So basically, what that covers is like a premium ChatGPT subscription and all the new features that we'll be putting in there. So happy to answer any other questions. Sebastian asking, developing a playbook on AI marketing, is it coming soon? I mean, we're just kind of evolving this stuff. As you know, this is like such a rapidly moving thing. I've never kind of really seen something like this in marketing before. Yeah, I think it is. It's rapidly moving. So we will be developing a playbook, but we'll do that in kind of almost like a Google Doc type format, because yeah, it is changing so quickly. Any more questions anybody's got? Happy to stick around for another couple of minutes. You got any questions? I think one of the there's one, integrating pictures using AI. So in this here, there is a DALL-E integration. Now, I'm just going to give you my very personal opinion. Like I don't like any of those images that I've ever seen that's created through them. And I think that there are loads of good free photo archives out there, right? Like Unsplash, Pixabay. I just think it's better to do that. I don't think those AI created images add anything that you can that you can't do in a photograph. So my take on it is it's not really there for that stuff. Doesn't need. It's not really like a problem that needed solving. There already were like loads of free images that are really quick. In terms of but we can do that through here. I just don't think it's that good personally. So I'd be proved wrong on that. But yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure. That example that was shown, that was obviously the one that didn't work as well. But if I put it in here, you can see probably working a little bit quicker. I'm just going to go in here and just quickly show that. So you can create titles like that. Then you can generate the sections from that blog post. You'll see sometimes if you've used ChatGPT, it hangs there a little bit, but yeah, like I go here and it's doing it a lot more quickly. So that's how it works. And then once you've done that, you can basically save that and post, and you've got like the prompt template here, so you can save these different kind of templates for prompting it to write the content. Yeah, sometimes it does hang a little bit. Sometimes the OpenAI, it kind of like maxes out and it just takes a little bit more time, but it's super easy to get the posts in there. I don't think there's any more questions coming in. We're coming up to the hour, and just thank you very much for coming along. Hope those campaigns were useful. I'll be sharing them with you. I think even the ones that seemed a bit more complex, when you actually see how they work in practice, you'll probably find that they're a lot easier. Happy to answer any more questions by email. And if you want to see how this works, if you're a client or new to Bizink, then yeah, book a time to chat. Would love to take you through it. So yeah, thanks heaps for coming, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day.